Hey guys, Mr. 3D here. In today's video for my Loadout series, I'm bringing you a loadout that focuses on team support. And yes, I've done a video before that focuses on entire team support, but this one's going to be a bit more different. This one's going to be designed for skirmish and attrition type game modes. Well, specifically game modes that focus on Titan play and Titan support. And this loadout is going to be quite useful for those that know they're not good at being top player or second or third player, but good for overall supporting their teammates through thick and thin. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So the name of the loadout is called the Heavy Supporter, and like I said, I'm designing this loadout based around skirmish and attrition. If you're the type of person that's not good at climbing the leaderboard and being top place, this loadout will be designed for you. If you want to be supportive, if you want to support your teammates through thick and thin, and you want to at least assist them in as much as possible, and also learn in the meantime while being as offensive and defensive as much as possible, this loadout will be designed for you. And for newer players, if this is something that you want to get used to before learning the ropes, this will be designed and probably beneficial for you. So sit back and enjoy some of the tips I'll probably be providing for you. So let's go into the main loadout. The class we're going to be using AWOL. Now AWOL allows us to be offensive and defensive. It will allow us to throw down a shield that will block incoming damage, but also at the same time it will allow us to dish out extra damage. So think of it like amped weapon, but as a shield that's unbreakable. Something that should have been looked in by now, but given respawn's timing and patching with certain aspects of the game, this could be still quite a long while before they end up fixing the game. But anyway, the AWOL will be useful for basically protecting you or protecting your teammates. If you're the type of person that has the Titan ready, but you have the AWOL, and you see your teammates are in dire need of protection, you throw that down for them, and they'll be completely grateful for it. And although it doesn't last for long, it'll be great for placing it down in an area that is heavily occupied by Titans. Doing so will allow your teammates to take out the secondary, hopefully they'll have an anti-Titan weaponry, and dish out some extra damage. And then you can come in with your Titan, and also do some more damage, if that's how you want to play out. Your primary now is going to be the Spitfire. It's heavy, it's hard hitting, and it's a type of weapon that I believe would be perfect for supporting your teammates. You can go with Devotion if you want, but I prefer Spitfire because of how hard it hits, and its ammo capacity is quite generous as well. For this type of weapon, it's designed for supporting your teammates. You can lay down rows and rows of fire upon enemy players, and in many ways this will attract their attention to you. Even if you want to further help your team, you can throw down the AWOL, combine it with Spitfire, and aim at Titan. As long as you hit the Titan's main cockpit area, this could be beneficial for you. So it could be an anti-Titan and kind of an anti-pilot type weaponry. But like I said, I don't recommend that you use this type of weapon if you know that you're going to be in an area that's quite stationary. You need to use this type of weapon in an area that you know you'll be supporting the teammates. So basically you need to be in an area where you know your teammates will be, an area that you can pretty much get up to, camp, and then lay down some support fire, and hopefully this will attract their attention. You attract their attention, your teammates will be able to escape, they'll probably thank you, some do, some don't, or maybe in some ways you'll be able to take out the Titan or enemy player, whatever way you like to play it. Your secondary is going to be Archer. Now the Archer is quite powerful, it has a quick lock on, and it's like I said, it's quite powerful in general. You can always go with the Thunderbolt if you want to speed up your Titan drop rate, but me personally I'll go to Archer. It hits harder and it's quite nice with, in many ways, taking out Titans from long distances, because the one thing that some of the other anti-Titan weaponry don't have is the fact that they don't hit hard and you don't really notice the numbers. But the Archer, the moment you land a shot onto a Titan, you really do see how much damage it does, and you can really see how much of an annoyance it can be. Your boost now is going to be the anti-Titan Sentry. Ideally you'll probably unlock this really quickly, but I recommend that you only use this anti-Titan Sentry the moment the enemy team start to drop their Titans. So if you get your Titan first, don't drop it just off yet. Wait till the enemy team drops their Titans. Then drop your anti-Titan Sentry into an area that you know the enemy can't reach, but you know your anti-Titan Sentry will be able to reach them. Or in many ways, put into an area that you know they'll be coming, so kind of like a bait tactic. Once you do that, then drop your Titan. Doing this will overall support your teammates as much as possible. It will basically weaken them, it will basically allow your teammates to go in and close in for the kill, and it also allow enemy titans to not come into that area. So then in many ways it will allow you enough space and room for other pilots to drop in with their titans and kind of give you a leading edge. But do remember that the anti-titan sentry is quite weak. It's powerful against multiple groups of titan, and the more you put up, the more of annoyance it becomes. But if a player has a Ronin or a Tone or even an Ion, and they're really good with the aiming, or they're able to melee it, that's it. That'll be it. So make sure that you put in a strategic area that you know will be beneficial for both you and your teammates. Ordnance now will be electric smoke. Electric smoke is quite effective with clearing out areas, specifically enclosed areas that you know enemies will be, but it's also great for providing support. So say for example you're in an enclosed area, heavy firefight, and you're about to get overrun. If you want to escape, you throw down electric smoke, and not only will this basically mean that no one in the Titan or no one from Pilot will be able to see, but the moment they go through it, they'll take a bit of damage. And this could play over in your favour. You could probably turn the tide on this, or you can use it as an escape route. Most times for this type of loadout, I use it as an escape tool for any pilots I see are in danger. And lastly, your pilot kit is going to be Power Cell and Kill Report, and your Titan is going to be Scorch. I've chosen Scorch because he's great for aerial denial, and he's got quite heavy DPS when used correctly. So now, when it comes down to gameplay wise, like I said, your whole role of this is to be supportive. You need to lay down the fire as much as possible. That means you need to go into an area that is going to be heavily occupied by enemies. So you need to think of yourself as bait. You need to go into an area and you need to bait the enemies in. You're going to use your AWOL to soak up most of the damage, but then use your Spitfire to dish out the damage. Hopefully by placing it in strategic areas, you'll be able to provide as much support for your teammates from either high or below. Now, I recommend that you stick with your teammates. Ideally stick with a group of teammates and try to support them as much as possible. The more you support them, the more you have a chance of, increasing your boost rate and increasing your Titan drop rate. Doing this will allow you to have a much better edge on the battlefield. When things start to get hectic and enemy Titans start to drop, this is where you come in with your anti-Titan sentry. Put it into an area that you believe will be heavily occupied by enemies. And do remember that the anti-Titan sentry does target onto pilots if they shoot back at it though. It won't fire at them straight away, but if the enemy pilot shoots at the anti-Titan sentry, it will fire back. So in many ways it can play within your favour with being anti-Titan and anti-pilot. But ideally it can be anti-Titan. So place it into an area that you know Titans will be going into. Place it into a strategic area that they won't be able to reach it, or a strategic area that they know that they'll only have a few seconds to realise where it is. And this in many ways will bait them in with trying to focus all their attention on taking that anti-Titan sentry out, because it can be a complete pain to deal with. This will then allow you to drop your Titan in, or the other player's Titans in, and then it will allow you to get the catch onto them. Now, with your Power Cell and your Kill Report, this will basically allow you to know where the enemy players are and where the enemy other players are when they're dead. And your Power Cell will come in handy when it comes down to your AWOL, providing as much support as possible. So basically allow you that each kill you get, yes, it will increase your chance of getting your AWOL up and ready, but with Power Cell, it will increase that rate even more further, allowing you to constantly have a shield up and ready and available for both you and your teammates. But do be aware that placing it down and getting killed, it can be used against you, but you probably know that already. Now, your Scorch though, your Scorch Titan, he's going to be just your normal overall defensive supportive Titan. When you're using Scorch, do you remember to use your canisters in small and enclosed areas that you know enemy pilots will be, and do remember, don't go off on your own unless you're the type of person that knows how to use Scorch perfectly. Try and stick with your teammates and try to use Scorch only on enclosed and small areas. If you're on much bigger maps, such as Eden for example, try and go with Legion, who is even more better for taking out pilots and taking out Titans at either close or long ranges. But in closed areas, like Crash Site, use Scorch and stick with your teammates. Don't be too close and clumped up, because the main problem with that is that a suicide Ronin or a suicide North Star could come up from behind you and nuke eject you. try and just be behind them and support them with as much firepower as possible. Use your gas canisters to block off areas that you think Titans and enemy pilots will be coming into, and then use your ultimate core ability to either wipe out an area with pilots or wipe out an area with Titans, or even weaken them and such. If you feel like you're getting overrun, by all means back up and look for other Titans and such. But ideally it's more of a DPS and trying to stop the enemy from advancing. That's your main role when you're in the Scorch. You need to stop them, you need to stop the enemy players from advancing onto your point. And then allow enough breathing room so that your friendlies will be able to fire back and take them out. But like I said, do remember, if you're going to support them, try not be too close to them. As the main problem in the game is that if too many Titans are clustered together in a small area, such as crash site, it's quite easy to be trapped, and then a suicidal nuke player come up behind you and nuke every last one of you. And there'll be no way to escape it, because the collision in the game is quite all that time. But that's the end of the loadout. I hope you enjoyed it, as it's quite easy to learn and it's quite beneficial for players that want to be more supportive rather than being offensive, defensive, or being the type of player that want to be competitive overall. Do remember that this loadout is designed for skirmish and attrition, or any other game modes that focus on Titan play. But you can always change it up and put your own twist to it, as this is just, like I said, a simple loadout for anyone of any skill range to try out and have fun with. So I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then leave a like for more, or even leave a dislike. By all means, also leave a comment saying what you like about the video. Maybe tell me some other loadouts that you may find quite interesting and you want me to actually go ahead and give my own opinions on. I'm always welcome to some new ideas. So thank you all for watching, do subscribe for more, and I hope to see you again soon.